As Budget 2018 looms, RHB Research says the government is likely to focus more on economic development that uses technology. This as the government prepares to lay the groundwork for Transformasi Nasional 2050. Measures are expected to include improving internet connectivity and expanding growth in the digital economy, which would incorporate ride-sharing services. The research house also sees the budget focusing on facilitating Industry 4.0, which is the trend of digitizing manufacturing with tax incentives and an expanded soft loan scheme. Aside from that, the research house believes Budget 2018 will focus on tackling the rising cost of living, further development of SMEs, and affordable housing. It's expecting Putrajaya to keep existing property cooling measures in place and to leave the auto, gaming, and SIM sectors untouched. Elusive Tycoon Robert Tan, popularly known as the Casio King, has sold his 51% stake in Goh Ban Huat to JB's Paragon Adventure. Paragon is paying RM1.40 a piece for the shares. That's a 2.1% discount to its last traded price of RM1.43. It also bought 51% of the outstanding warrants from him at 40 cents. The deal triggered a mandatory takeover offer for the remaining shares and warrants. Paragon is controlled by Edwin and Godwin Tan, who are involved in a portfolio of development projects in the Johor capital. It intends to keep Goh Ban Huat's listing status. CIMB Group has finally gotten the green light from the China Banking Regulatory Commission to divest its stake in Bank of Yingkou to Shanghai Guozhijie Investment Development. This comes about 10 months after CIMB announced plans to divest the 18% stake, or 391.4 million shares, for 972 million ringgit. Group Chief Zafrul Aziz said in December last year that the venture with Bank of Yingkou was one of his best investments. CIMB had shared about 651 million ringgit worth of profit from Bank of Yingkou between 2009 and 2016. In the first 9 months of 2016 alone, the unit brought in 93 million ringgit in profit to the group. But Zafrul explained then that capital requirements for minority investments have continued to increase and that the returns threshold required to justify this investment will be too high. He added that the disposal is in line with CIMB's plan to focus on its core business based on its T18 exercise. Malaysia Airlines says it will not be increasing its fleet size next year, though it doesn't rule out doing so in 2019. The national carrier is in the middle of getting wide-body aircraft to replace its narrow-body planes as part of a fleet restructuring. According to CEO Peter Bellew, it's leasing 6 second-hand wide-bodied Airbus A330-200 aircraft, which Bellew said was a cheeky offer at a low price. They are expected to begin arriving from February next year. Currently, 70% of MAB's current fleet comprises narrow-bodied aircraft, which are meant for short-haul routes. The restructuring plan is not expected to require any additional funding. Bellew also dismissed talk that he was leaving the carrier for Ryanair. He says while MAB is going through some challenges at the moment, he is very happy to remain at its helm. Safra Energy says its second quarter net profit slumped 74%, blaming lower income from its exploration and production and rig operation segments. Earnings stood at just under 29 million ringgit versus 112 million in 2016. Revenue was lower too, dropping about 1% to 1.66 billion ringgit from 1.68 billion a year earlier. Safra Energy says it was due to the lower revenue from its drilling and exploration and production business segments. The oil and gas support service provider expects the industry to remain challenging in the current financial year. It adds, although oil prices have stabilized, it remains cautious on the outlook of recovery in the industry's capital spending in the near term.